Hello everyone, this is Spliced and welcome to a brand new emote tech video. In the previous emote tech video, I showed you guys what you could do with the Hellfire effect and the pony animation emote. And in this video, we're going to be taking the new effect from the new mythic outfits, the Plasma Shock, and we're going to be taking it with the pony animation emote as well, and we're going to be taking it one step further to something brand new. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Before we learn the tech, we got to know about the actual ability itself. So this effect, what it does is it emits a giant plasma shock wave outside of you, and it kind of displaces your character. What this does is it can allow you to get a free hit in sometimes with your light attacks or even guard breaks. Sometimes you can also get the long arm in as well. But the other thing it's really good at is if you just simply use it every second or so. You can use it as a confusion tool to make your enemy confused into what you're doing, and you can actually bait them into doing a light attack, even a heavy attack as well, which will allow you to parry it afterwards. And I'll get into that later, but for now we're going to show you guys how it's done. What the emote tech was previously used for the Lawbringer is you would use the Hellfire animation in conjunction with the pony emote to confuse your enemy long enough for you to get the long arm in. And with this new emote that blinds even more of the field, it will not only allow the long arm, but it also allows a whole new range of attacks. One of the new strategies you can try is using the emote tech into a heavy feint. This might trigger the enemy into dodging because they're confused into what's happening with the displacement that's going around your character, and they'll think that you're throwing out an attack that they won't be able to block, so they might end up trying to dodge it, allowing you to get a free guard break. Quickly before we move on, now that you see how the effect works and how it can be used, we're going to show you how it can be beneficial to yourself. As you can clearly see, it was blinding your own screen. But if you go into the options, you can actually disable the emote effect for yourself, but it will still show to the enemy if they have not disabled it, which will allow you to use the emote freely, with still being able to see the whole battlefield completely without any problem. But you can still use the emote just freely as you want to. The only difference is that you will not be able to see it, but the enemy will. So it won't displace your screen whatsoever, and you can actually do this as a complete surprise attack on your enemy whenever you feel like. We're now going to look at the most effective part of this emote tech, baiting your opponent into attacking you. The way you do this is simply every single second you will press the emote. The reason why you don't spam it is because it can be a little bit too noticeable, but also it does not make the emote come out fast enough. You have to wait a second for the emote to come out at a fluent motion and every consistent amount of time. By doing this every single time, it will make your opponent think that you're just emoting, which will allow them to throw out a light attack to make you stop. But really little do they know is that when you emote, you're actually still blocking in the direction they attack. So all you really need to do is emote a couple times, wait for that light to come out, and then parry it. Keep in mind that this will take a little bit of practice to get used to, for pressing the button consistently. I'm still not really used to it, as you can see in the video, I'm missing some of my parries. But it is a very good strategy, and I have been able to bait out a lot of attacks with it. Finally, we're going to see what it looks like from the enemy's perspective. I do block and stop a lot of these attacks. You got to keep in mind that we were in a custom game, and I was expecting him to do this constantly. But when you're in mid-battle and you just throw these out randomly, it does prove to be really effective, as it's happened many times where I was able to get in a lot of free lights and even guard breaks as well. That is it for the new emote tech that has come for the Lawbringer. You can use this on other classes, but you got to keep in mind that it is mostly bent for the Lawbringer, as his ability is a silent emote followed up with a instant effect that comes afterwards. On top of that, this isn't really a viable thing to use all the time, as people might have the emotes disabled as well, so you might be doing absolutely nothing to the enemy. But with that being said, hope you guys did learn something, hope you guys did enjoy this video of the new emote tech, and I'll see you guys later.